always had the style to pop. 100 on my fist and 100 on my watch.
Yo, what's going on with you freaking Ethiopian mud huts? How y'all feeling? Yup, I said mud hut, so what? Ethiopian mud hut, actually. Remember that? Learning about it in, what was it, like middle school? Adobe bricks? God. I was at the grocery store the other day and I bumped into somebody who was Ethiopian. I didn't really talk to her. I just seen her. And I knew she was Ethiopian, though, because every Ethiopian girl kind of has the same, resemblance a little bit. They all have that fucking peanut-shaped head. Like, it looks like a football a little bit. And then they usually got, like, these big-ass eyes, which is pretty cool, though. I like them. Big, beautiful eyes, actually. I love a girl with a pair of big eyes or whatever. And she was at the grocery store. She was, like, balancing some shit on her head, bro. And I thought it was pretty impressive, because she was walking through the grocery store fast. She was hitting corners real quick or whatever. And I was like, man, that's pretty cool that she can kind of keep all that in balance and stuff like that. I'm trying to balance my checkbook right now, and I can't even do that sitting down. So I thought that was kind of cool. I was like, she probably working out those fucking neck muscles right there to keep her big ass head up or whatever. So shout out to the Ethiopian community. But what's the word, Mockingbird? How y'all feeling? Y'all keeping it trill like King of the Hill? This type of podcast, we're going to get dramatic and aerodynamic with it. Gang, gang, baby. What you talking about? I'm happy to be here with you guys on a new podcast ep. It's May 17th, and we're wrapping up the weekend. It's almost, Monday. And I'm happy to be here with you guys. I will say that. And we're rocking it like no other. I'll also add that. So shout out to you guys for hanging out with me today and tapping in with VinnyVin. We got some random topics. We're going to talk about some stuff that I seen throughout the week. We'll talk about some shit that's going on with the world, some local news or whatever. I got some stuff we could talk about. But before we dive into all that, I wanted to give the viewers an opportunity to kind of participate in the pod. And what I mean by that is, like, if you have any topics you want me to talk about, you can go ahead and leave some comment in the comment section of the YouTube video or whatever. And I'll do my best to kind of like put it into next week's pod. So if you guys want to participate, that's a way you can do it. Also, if there's anything that you see me doing that you guys like or that you want to see me do more of, let me know. You know what I'm saying? And I'll do what I can to, make sure we have an enjoyable show. So, wanted to share that real quick. But what else is going on? The fucking 91 freeway. Did you guys hear about this shit? The fucking freeway, the 91 freeway going to Riverside was active, bro. It was going down. Shit was fucking cracking, bro. It was. And there was like 2 fights and a shootout on the freeway. You don't believe me? Look it up. See what you find. Go do it. Don't question me. Go look it up. Nah, because you question like that wasn't a thing. Go look it up and see what you find. I ain't bullshitting you. And, it started on Monday, right? I remember I was at work and everybody at my office started making some like commotion. Like, oh shit, look, the freeway, something's going down. Something's happening. So I take a look, I'm not trying to be nosy. So I take a second to kind of turn around and look. But I ended up looking and sure enough, there was something going on. And I'm like, what's going on? What is that? And it was some dude, bro. Some fucking, some guy. He was on the freeway getting into it with the police force, the sheriffs or whatever. And I don't know what this guy was on or whatever. He looked like somebody's drunk deal who somehow made it onto the freeway. My theory is he probably lost his hat. He was probably driving, lost his hat, and was like, I need to go get my fucking hat back. And he crossed, traffic to go get it, and they were probably like, yo, you can't do that. and it turned into something like somebody got disrespected and they started getting down. Um, I have the video right here. Here, we'll watch it real quick. You tell me what's going on. But yeah, man, it's right here on Riverside. Boom. Exit on University right there. And this motherfucker's trying to get down with the police officers. He's squabbling in front of a box truck, bro. Shutting down lanes of traffic. I'm like, go ahead and pepper spray him already. Go fucking tase him. You know what I'm saying? Go do something about that, police officers. Looking like an average Raiders fan right there. Boom, got him. Took him down. It was over after that. Car started moving instantly. See that? Shut down traffic and shit like that. So yeah, that happened on Monday. And we got to talk about we got to make some things mandatory with police officers, okay? Because I know, like, most police officers, they got their reports they got to turn in at the end of the day, you know, their documentation of shit that they were doing, you know, making sure they weren't on, like, some dirty heist or whatever like that. And I think they should make them turn in some type of calorie counter at the end of the day. We need to know what kind of what kind of food are you guys digesting? Because I'm starting to see a lot of overweight police officers. I mean, they're everywhere, you know. They're everywhere. You'll see them. I think we need to start putting more of them on those bicycles. Keep them active. I want to see police officers doing drills in the middle of the day. You know, they pull over or whatever. And instead of getting coffee, I want to see them do some burpees. You know what I mean? There's a lot of overweight police officers is what I'm saying. And it's not a good look. You know what I'm saying? We're supposed to be a force to be reckoned with when it comes to stuff like that. You look like you're just going to wreck a buffet or whatever. And you should probably be in shape a little bit is what I'm saying. Because you put somebody who looks like a Navy SEAL on that same incident, bro, that guy's... They don't even stop the freaking freeway, bro. He gets intercepted before he even gets on the freeway. That's how active these people are. And they I think they should make it mandatory that they should learn some more, you know, self-defense things other than just choking somebody out or tackling somebody. You know, you look at like the Chinese police officers, these fools are fucking, you know, practicing kung fu and shit like that. You go up to North Korea, you'll see somebody headbutt a fucking cinder block or whatever. So, you know, we should probably teach our police officers some shit, bro. Some martial arts, some Krav Maga type shit. Some fucking Indian arm burns or whatever. I don't know, something. So yeah, man, that was the first incident. And it took like an hour just to get that situated. And probably like 4 car accidents and then maybe like 8 carpool tickets later, right, there's a second incident. This one went down and it was way more action. It was crazy. And all this is in front of my building, bro. So like I was able to see all of it point blank. And this shit was like some shit you'd see on fucking G.I. Joe, Fast and Furious type shit. You know what I mean? I don't know the guy, but apparently like I was reading, I didn't ask him or anything, but like I was reading online, this guy, he stole a Kia, right? He stole somebody's car and took that shit on a high-speed chase. And the cops, they did some type of maneuver or whatever, had him slam into like a fence. And a bunch of police came out, surrounded him and shit like that. Brought an armored truck, bro. It was a wrap. He was done. And again, bro, the 91's already bad enough, and these motherfuckers are adding to it. And that shut down the freeway for like 3 hours, bro. The standoff was probably like an hour and a half. People going back and forth and shit, trying to get this guy to get out of the car. And they pull up in a fucking, the police end up, you know, pulling up with a fucking armored truck. They had rifles, dogs, fucking drones, ChatGPT. They were using all the technology. For one guy, I'm like, man, they threw a flashbang in his car, bro. I swear, that shit was crazy. So I'm just like, bro, just fucking get him out of there, bro. So that shit was crazy. Let me see. I got the video right here. Look. Yeah, bro, this shit was going down. And there we are. Look, we standing right there on the top of the fucking balcony right there watching all this shit. But yeah, so like, I don't know what happened, right? They pitted him though. Boom. There we are. We standing up there. You see us? And yeah, that shit shut down the freeway, bro. 3 hours for that shit. And, you know, the guy looks like a tweaker. I ain't gonna lie to you. He looks like they're gonna probably say he has mental health issues. I think he don't fry it. He's more fried than a fried egg that you eat for breakfast in the morning. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, man, I was just looking at the cars while all this shit was going down, right? And I was like, man, I feel bad for the people stuck in that fucking traffic, bro. Cause like I said earlier, the 91 is already bad enough. There's already a lot of shit happening. You're already in traffic as it is. I say if you're on the 91, there's a 91% chance you're gonna be in traffic. You know, there's 91% chance you're probably gonna be running late to your fucking doctor's appointment if you have to take the 91. So I was just kind of like looking at these cars, like, man, that sucks, you know. I was like, chill. I feel bad for you, son. You got 91 problems on the freeway, the main one, type shit. But yeah, that was kind of crazy. That shit was fucking active, bro. That shit was more percolated than a Percocet. Shit was cracking like fucking eggs in a fucking skillet. You know what I mean? Shit. Fucking 91, bro. That shit was more turned up than a DJ system at a fucking Mexican cookout, is what I'm saying. And Mexican cookouts, bro, they go on forever. The party never ends at a Mexican cookout. You know, they'll be partying until fucking sun up to sun down. And then the sun comes up again and they're still fucking partying. You know, they're still grilling. Yeah, man, so that was the 91. That makes me think of, actually, that's funny I say that, because that makes me think of my dad, right? My dad, when I used to visit him growing up, he lived in LA, so I'd go visit my dad and shit like that on the weekends. And we used to have these neighbors, bro, and they would throw parties literally every weekend. It's like it was someone's birthday every weekend, it felt like. You know, they were celebrating fucking holidays that I've never even heard of before. You know, they were just celebrating shit all the time. I'm talking about like from like 4 p.m. to 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning. They were just partying all night, every weekend. And, you know, I'd be falling asleep to fucking Spanish music and never learned a word of Spanish. You know, because my dad, he bought me those motherfucking earmuffs so we can go to sleep and shit like that. And these people, they were partying, bro. I was like, how many relatives live in this fucking house, bro? How many people? How many birthdays? I don't understand what they were celebrating, but they were. And they celebrated like, they celebrated pretty hard. I remember one time they had a pet duck that would run around with fucking dogs and shit like that. And one time the duck went over to our fucking yard. And we were trying to get the duck and, tell them like, hey, bro, your duck's in our yard or whatever. And this duck was mean, bro. It was a fucking white duck, orange fucking beak and all that. And I think he was just mean because he's like, what the fuck am I doing over here? Why ain't I in some water? You know what I'm saying? Where my dog's at? I was like, they're over there, bro. You should probably go back to where you're at before you fucking cook your ass or whatever. And yeah, man, I just remember my dad, he would always flip out a little bit. He'd always get upset. My dad, he gets irritated really quick. He flips a switch pretty fast. And it's funny. I like when he gets like all fucking worked up. It makes me laugh. But yeah, he used to get upset with our neighbors, bro. They were playing music every fucking weekend till like crazy times. It didn't matter what day they were playing it. And, my dad would always get mad because he wasn't getting no sleep, and he had to wake up early usually on the week on Mondays, right, for work and shit like that. So he never had good sleep because of our neighbors. So I remember one time, my dad's all upset. He ends up buying us some like fucking earmuffs, bro. I'm talking about the earmuffs you see at a construction site when somebody's working like heavy machinery. You know what I'm saying? You go to a fucking shooting range and you got those fucking earmuffs. You up there in the fucking sky flying a plane and you got some earmuffs, bro. You can't even hear what's going on. My dad used to have to scream at me in the morning to wake up, you know? I couldn't hear shit. These are the type of shit. We had those fucking little fucking cupped, foam fucking ear fucking pillows type shit. Yeah, man. Somebody can break in the house. I wouldn't even know, bro. I wouldn't even wake up for anything, bro. I didn't know what time it was when I woke up because I couldn't hear shit, bro. Usually the sun of like it just being in my face would fucking wake me up because I couldn't hear what the fuck was going on. So, yeah, that was my dad. That was our neighbors. That shit was kind of funny, because they were throwing parties every weekend, bro. Didn't matter. Celebrating holidays that didn't. They were a Hispanic household celebrating a Jewish holiday, Hanukkah. I'm like, it's not even close to Christmas. Y'all ain't even Jewish. They're selling like Mormon type of holidays and shit like that. But yeah, that was kind of funny. Good times right there. What else went on? Let me think real quick. I bumped into somebody the other day who gave me some cool advice. Right, he's an older dude, and he was telling me like, "Hey, look, everybody makes mistakes. Even the most successful people make mistakes. But the thing between successful people and regular people is when they make that mistake, they don't make the same mistake again." I was like, I like that, bro. That's solid advice. I mess with you for that. And cause it's true. How many times do we do something that we know we're not supposed to do? How many times we get with a raggedy bitch when we know we shouldn't get with her? She's probably raggedy. What this guy's saying is like, if you know she's raggedy and you already had a raggedy bitch before, kind of, the next chick you talk to, make sure she don't got none of those raggedy tendencies. You don't want to get stuck with another raggedy bitch because you didn't learn the first time. That's kind of what he was saying. That's how I understood it. So shout out to that guy. He was cool. Cedric was his name. Cool guy right there. Cool individual. That same night I ended up sharing a drink with a woman at a bar, and that was pretty cool as well. She was like a real life therapist. You ever bump into somebody or talk to somebody and they just like kind of like they just unpack you, right? They present your like whole life in front of you in a way you've never even thought about it or seen it. You're like, damn, this chick's still talking about me? Like, holy shit. Like, how do you even know all this shit? How are you this aware of what's going on? How are you this tapped in? That's crazy. She was pointing out shit that made me feel like I was the problem in a lot of the things that I was doing. Not in a bad way, in a way that's like I got a lot to like kind of improve and stuff like that. So I appreciate her. She had a lot of depth, you know what I mean? A lot of depth. I'm not talking about her vagina. I ain't talking about depth in her vagina. I mean depth in the conversation. So that was pretty refreshing. It's really refreshing actually when you talk to somebody and you're not the only one carrying the convo. She was engaging, asking me questions that like made me think, bro. So I was like, that's kind of fun. But one of the things I really took away from our time together was she told me like, Vince, it seems like you're like in grind mode all the time and you're going 100 miles per hour. You ever thought about slowing down to 50 miles per hour and kind of like enjoying the process and, crafting what you're doing, even if it's at a slower pace? You can actually accomplish a lot more doing it that way compared to going 100 miles per hour. And I was like, it was, I appreciate the input. I was like, you know what? I like that. Thank you for sharing that. And then I started thinking about it though. And I told her, I was like, I go 100 miles per hour because I feel like, I got to take action. I got to make up for the times I spent not doing much, So that's why I go 100. And that's why I want to move at that pace. And she was like, well, how long do you think you can manage that? I was like, I don't know. I mean, for however long I need to, I'll put up with it if I need to. She's like, will you enjoy it that way? And I was like, I don't know. It's not really about enjoying it. It's just about handling business. You know, if I got to put up with it for a little bit, then I'll do it. And then she was like, well, you think your viewers or people you come across, you think they'll they'll want to see you like that, or would they want to see you more loose and having fun? And I was like, damn, made me think. But I told her, nah, you know what? I appreciate that. I am gonna consider it, but I have my own issues as well, where sometimes I'm stuck in my ways, and I'm like, I can go 100 miles per hour and fix things while I go. So that was kind of my take back. And I got issues, so I told her, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna be a legend at going 100 miles per hour. You either gonna keep up or you get left, type shit. So, but I appreciate her for sharing that with me. That was really cool of her. So shout out to her. Hopefully she's having a good rest of her weekend. What else went on this weekend? I hung out with my friend Arion. Shout out to Arion. Um, if you guys don't know who that is, that's one of my close friends. And we watched the Kevin Hart roast. Did you guys see that yet? If you haven't, I'm about to spoil it. You probably should have watched it with your uncultured ass anyways. So the roast was really good. I enjoyed it. Was it me or did it just feel kind of weird a little bit? Like everybody kind of felt like a little awkward. People were kind of just like uptight, I feel like. And I like Kevin Hart. I grew up on his comedy, right? At a young age, I was watching his stuff back in the day. I don't care what everybody says about his movies. I enjoyed all his movies. I thought they were pretty cool. Um, and I like the people who are on the roast, the fucking Tony Hinchcliffes, the Shane Gillises, all of them. They're all funny. Jeff Ross, all them. And I just feel like we got to start taking some of these major events, like a roast, out of fucking Hollywood. We got to take it out of Los Angeles. Because those people, the crowd, right, the Hollywood fame and all that stuff, those people, they don't know how to have a good time. They don't know how to just sit there and not think about getting offended and just laughing. Everybody seemed like they were trying to dissect what was being said. That way they can have some opinion on it later. It's like, bro, just enjoy the fucking show, bro. It's like these people forget how to laugh and shit like that, or act like an actual human being. They're so caught up in the fame and shit like that. So that was kind of lame. I didn't like that. I was like, man, next time we got to put it like somewhere in Louisiana or something like that. Where they don't got any real source of entertainment. That's kind of that is their Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? That and the New Orleans Saints. But, those people fucking laugh at anything, bro. And those are the type of people who won't try to cancel you. They'll just fucking get a crocodile and sick it on your ass if you ain't really that good or whatever. So I think we should do it in states like that. People just more tapped in with real world stuff instead of fucking Hollywood. That's why I'm out of here, bro. I'm heading on to Texas, bro. I'm hoping Texas can put up with somebody like a crazy motherfucker like Vince. You know what I mean? So that's kind of my vibes of the roast and what I took away from it. I thought Cat Williams had the best set. Obviously, he's a legend, so it's kind of biased. He's one of my favorite, comics out there. But I just really liked his I liked his performance because he was like the all-time hater. He just went up there and started fucking hating. And it's like he didn't even go there to really make fun and all that. He was just strictly going off of straight insults. He was like the evil fucking villain. He walked up there. He sounded like Neville from iCarly. He was like, "Hello, Kevin," and he just started going in on Kevin. So I thought that was pretty cool. What else went on? I got a haircut this weekend. If you can't tell, that's why I look so fresh. You know what I'm saying? And my barber, he cuts good hair. He gets down. But I am looking for a new barber, Not because he doesn't cut good hair. He clearly cuts good hair, but he just does shit that kind of like makes you look at him kind of sideways a little bit, Like the other day, I went to go see him, right, to get a haircut, and he just says shit like, he was telling me like, "Oh, Vince, what's going on?" I'm like, "Man, you know me, new day, new hustle or whatever." And he'll just say shit like, "When's the last time you stopped by? It feels like it's been so long." I'm like, regular shit, it's a routine type of thing, like here every 2 weeks, you know me. And he's like, "Yeah, I just felt like an eternity." And you're just like, all right then, whatever. He'll be cutting my hair up and shit like that, and just like complimenting my hair in a different way. He'll just fucking, "You have luscious hair," or whatever, or like, "I like what you're doing with the beard," or whatever. I'm just like, thanks, bro. I mean, you're the one who cuts it, so I mean, I don't know why you're saying this right now, but all right then. And he'll just do shit like, he'll try to lock eyes with me when he's lining me up or whatever like that. You know what I'm saying? He'll turn me around in the chair while he's doing some fucking weird pose or something. I'm like, dog, hey, I don't got time for this right now. Cut my hair. I got to get out of here, bro. I don't like being, and I try to close my eyes, right? But I don't like being spun around with my eyes closed. I don't like that. Um, and I open my eyes and I just have a fucking phone in my face recording or whatever. Um, No, I'm just fooling. I'm just fooling. My barber, he's cool as fuck. I'm just kidding. That's my boy Manny. I'm actually gonna throw his page on the pod. He cuts good hair. If you guys need a haircut, hit up my boy. He'll take care of you. I'm just bullshitting with him. But yeah, that's kind of all I did this week. I didn't really do much. The 91 was kind of crazy. That was like the most exciting part of the week, I feel like. And just bumping into random strangers, having conversations with them is always a good time as well. Um, what else did I see? I saw some fucking lady piss me off today. I was fucking driving through a parking lot, and people who cross the street while on their phones, that shit pisses me off. There's nothing that gets me more upset than that. It's like, bro, if you're gonna cross, you gotta look both ways first of all. But don't fucking be on your phone thinking I'm gonna just stop for your ass. You're putting a lot of trust in a vehicle. I didn't like that. That kind of irritated me. Um, while I was at the barbershop, right, we were talking about LeBron James and shit like that. If he's gonna come back to the Lakers or if he's gonna, go wherever else, is he gonna retire? I'm like, I don't give a fuck, bro. He's been playing since I've been like 4 years old, bro. I think you need to hang it up. Go have brunch with your family or something. Go do something with your family. Go be a part of their life. I don't know. I'm just ranting right now. What else went on? That's my fucking dog snoring in the background. If you guys hear that, it's my dog. That's my DOG right there. Um, yeah, bro, that's kind of all I got for this week. I just thought I'd, share with you what I've seen in my point of view. Oh, Trump went to China. Did you guys hear about that? Trump went to China, bro. Now, well, I'm not, obviously up to date on politics or anything like that, so I'm going to just leave it like that. I could just picture Trump kind of going there like, China, China. It's just how I see him talking. Um, that's my Trump impersonation. I'm not sure where I was going with that, but I thought it was kind of funny the fact that he was in China, because Trump's always doing some random shit, causing havoc everywhere he goes. Um, what else went down? Yeah, man. I mean, that's kind of all I got for you guys this week. Thanks for tapping in with VinnyVin. Like I mentioned early in the pod, if you guys want to participate in any type of way, you let me know. Um, oh, I was watching the Detroit game earlier. I was pulling for Detroit. I thought Detroit was gonna do it, but it looks like they lost. They got smoked actually in the game 7. Um, the Cavs won, which is just gonna. I think the I'm calling it right now. It's gonna be Knicks versus the Thunder. So we'll see how that goes down. And yeah, man, that's kind of all I have for you guys this week. Thanks for hanging out with me. We'll have some other shit going on. I'm going to see if I can get some type of guest on here. That way we have some more stuff to talk about and continue to push things forward. I think the biggest thing I'm starting to learn about pod is like, being you and all that, and just kind of, I think I need to move it to the next level though, as far as like implementing like maybe a segment or something like that, or like doing something, which isn't bad. I mean, I'm constantly trying to push things forward all the time, so we'll get to it. But in the meantime, it's been real, y'all. We'll go ahead and have another pod episode next week. All right, then. Deuces.
Let's just dance in slow mo till we